Tip number 1 to level up your casual style this winter, leverage the power of the fourth dimension. No, I'm not talking about the tesseract. I'm talking about texture. You see this jacket I'm wearing right here? From a distance, solid blue. You get up close and all of a sudden you start to see variations in the color because of the texture. The dimensions we see in the fabric, specifically in corduroy, they're called wales. This allows the light to reflect off it differently, and it basically adds just a unique look to the material. What texture does is it adds a degree of softness, similar to a lens. Whenever it can't focus in on a particular point, the whole image goes soft. This is what happens with your clothing. Why is that important? Because soft things people want to touch. Things that people want to touch, they want to get closer to. So if you're going on a casual date, a jacket like this may be a great option. Even better yet, maybe go with a cashmere sweater, something that she's going to want to touch to be able to get a little bit closer, break the ice. The next tip to level up your casual style this winter, bring in a bit of retro fashion. What am I talking about? Classic, historic pieces, looks that men used to rock. Maybe they're not popular, trendy nowadays, but they're still going to make you look amazing. Again, let's look at this jacket right here. Notice the collar, a little bit different. What type of collar is this? This is a narrow collar. So basically this right here, notice the lapels do not fold over. This is going to go all the way up. What I really like about this collar is it builds up the neck. Now, what about the corduroy? It is a classic fabric. I think it looks great on a lot of guys, but if it's not your thing, you got options. Boom. Change up the fabric, but keep the style. Notice pretty much the same jacket, except made in a different material. This one right here is going to have a wool flannel. You can also look at moleskin. Tons of options out there. Point being is I like a jacket, again, going back to that first point about texture, with a little bit of a nap surface. It's going to just look better in the light, works great for this season, and overall a good looking jacket that's going to make you look stronger, going to make you look taller by building up the shoulders. Just overall a good look. The next tip to level up your casual style this winter, go check. No, you don't have to move to the beautiful city of Prague. What I'm talking about is bringing in the pattern that so many men are afraid to wear. Here's the thing with check patterns. Pretty much any guy can pull it off with a shirt, but you have to have confidence to be able to pull it off with a jacket. And guess what? Women know this. Seriously, check out this look. Check out this jacket right here. You rock this, you're going to get compliments. You are going to stand out from the crowd. Now, gents, all the jackets, all the clothing you're seeing in today's video is brought to you by Gagliardi, the sponsor of today's video. Now, guys, I've talked about Gagliardi before, and that's because I love what they're doing. They're making it easy for you to look smart, for you to dress sharp, and still be comfortable. Seriously, all their jackets, unconstructed, unlined, they have soft shoulders, so they're easy to wear. A big part of this comes from their heritage. They're a family-owned business, been around for over 50 years, based out of Malta. These guys understand Mediterranean dressing, and they understand European style, and they bring that into their clothing. Now, when you go to their website, you're going to see they've got tons of options. Pretty much whatever you're looking for, they're going to have it. From accessories to actually, if you really need to get dressed up, you want something that's unique, going to stand out from the crowd, they've got it. If you want some classic pieces, shirts, if you want sweaters, jumpers as they call them, they've got you covered. And if you're in the market for trousers with a tapered cut, excellent fit, you want to check out their 5-pocket trousers. What I really like is the variety of colors that they've got there. Tons of good looking options. But let's jump back and let's talk about jackets. Look at all the different check pattern jackets that they have. I love the selection that they have here, especially in the muted check. This is going to be a great option if you want something that's not really going to grab too much attention. At the same time, you get to bring in a nice pattern, just a beautiful look right here. Or maybe you want to stick with a solid but go with an uncommon color. So let's look at this burgundy right here in twill. Maybe you want to go with a teal in basket weave or a beige basket weave. And if that's too much for you, you want a jacket that is going to be universal, pretty much match anything in your wardrobe, then look at this silver gray right here in herringbone. Beautiful jacket, and I would highly recommend, if you don't own a sports jacket, this is a great color to start with. But I'll tell you, the thing that really sets Gagliardi apart, in my opinion, from other companies out there is the way that they can bring in some fashion-forward pieces that really aren't too much of a stretch. I mean, this moleskin jacket right here with the Nehru collar, it isn't too much of a stretch if you're already pulling off things like a trucker jacket. Or what about these technical jackets that leverage two different types of materials? You got the contrasting sleeves with the contrasting vest. To me, I actually like the look. Or what about this navy zip front hooded jacket? I like the look, and I especially appreciate the fit. I like how they're using the two different materials, and it's very functional, got the hood on it, and it's just something that looks different than most of the jackets out there. And on top of all that, guys, they've got worldwide shipping. Yes, I know, great news, especially for you guys over in the UK, over in Europe, over in Canada, don't worry, they will be able to ship to you. I'm linking to Gagliardi down in the description of today's video with the best deal you're going to find out there on the web. Use it or lose it. It's an awesome deal, an awesome family-owned business. I love what they're doing. I love their clothing. You want to go check them out. Tons of options, tons of different pieces. Yeah, awesome company, proud to support them. Next up, don't be afraid to bring in a bold color, especially when you're layering. So look at this sweater right here, under that blue check sports jacket, but what pops? It's that orange. Guys, bringing in a nice, strong colored sweater or maybe a shirt with a strong color in it and then layering on top of that is a great option. The next tip to level up your casual winter wardrobe, don't be afraid to introduce a new interchangeable piece to your wardrobe. I'm talking about a piece, an item that maybe you've never actually tried. Like, I don't know, maybe a gilet. Now, I'm not saying you got to go with maroon. You can go with a very simple traditional color. Gray, as I've told you before, is a non-color and is going to pretty much match anything in your wardrobe. Very easy to fit in. Or maybe bring in a color that you already know, a color that already works with your interchangeable wardrobe. That way you reduce that risk there. And then it's just a matter of, okay, you have a new style garment in your wardrobe and finding ways to incorporate it into your looks. Now, for this next point, let me ask you a question. What is this outfit missing? Okay, nice jacket, relatively plain shirt. What do we need here? A bold accessory. How about a scarf? Silk, wool, maybe go with a geometric pattern, tons of options out there. Maybe go with paisley. What I'm saying here is that this right here outfit, this is incomplete. You really need to add a bold accessory. You might as well wear a scarf. It's the perfect time of the year for it. And that right there is just, I think it draws attention to the face, draws attention to the neck, just really completes the outfit. Now at this point, gents, I want to warn you, the worst thing you can do is go out there and buy a lot of clothing and don't wear it. That's not what I want to have happen. What I want you to do is to wear the clothing with confidence. So how to do it? Well, this next tip to level up your casual style this winter is key. And that is to practice wearing the clothing you buy. Put these outfits together and wear them around the house for nobody but yourself. I know it sounds a little bit, egocentric, and I'm not saying be a narcissist and look at yourself in the mirror for 8 hours, but I am saying dress sharp because you're going to feel better. You're also going to get used to wearing this clothing. You're going to get used to looking good, to putting on that hat, wearing that scarf, and I get it, it may be a little bit hot in the house. Point being is when you start to practice wearing, to dress sharp, all of a sudden this becomes normal. This becomes your go-to outfit. You feel good in it. Maybe your wife or girlfriend gives you a few compliments, but when you leave the house, you forget that you're wearing that. You're wearing those bold colors, that you're looking different. Otherwise, you're going to be wearing a costume. But when you're used to wearing that, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It feels familiar. This is your look and you walk with confidence and people will notice. All of a sudden it's just, hey, the guy just looks good and he wears it like a pro. So what video to watch next, gents? Let's compare British versus Italian style. Who wears it best? Seriously, who's got better style? The English with their structured jackets or the Italians with their sprezzatura? Find out, gents, in this video right here. And I'll link to it down in the description.